Did you know that 85% of positions are filled through networking? Yes, networking. That's what we're going to talk about today. Networking. And the Merriam-Webster dictionary, their definition of networking is described as the exchange of information or services among individuals, groups, or institutions. Kind of sterile, but basically to me, what networking, especially today online and on social media, needs to begin with is connecting. Connecting presents possibilities, communicating opens up opportunities. So it all begins with just a conversation. That's what networking is all about to me. But how do you really do it? Where do you start? How do you behave when you're out networking? These last, goodness, I've lost count of the months. 8 months, we have not been able to really be in person at in person networking events. We have done our networking virtually. But it's really done the same way, and it really is all about the conversation and connecting. There are a number of books that I have in my library here that I've read about networking that are out on the market here today that I highly recommend if you're looking for some good books to just kind of give you some skills on networking. A number of them, and a few of my favorites are, well, the number one is The Go Giver. Go Giver by Bob Burg. Phenomenal book. Another one by Jeffrey Gitomer, and I'll put these in the comments below today's Facebook Live, is The Little Black Book of Connections. And then Ivan Misner, who is the founder of BNI, Business Network International. All of his books are phenomenal, but one of the best ones that I have in my library is Truth or Delusion. Very, very good book to read. And then Jan Vermeiren has a book out called Let's Connect. Simple as that, let's connect. And then John C. Maxwell, another of my favorites. He has a book called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. But as I said, we have to connect before we can actually communicate. So connecting intentionally is what's going to really bring on deep and meaningful conversations within your networking. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. And I am Cheri Martin, known as the Social Visionary for my approach in social networking. As a social media and content marketing specialist, what I do is I show you how to put the social back into social media so that you actually see and get some desired results like those clicks, clients, and cash. That's why we really spend time networking and meeting people. Maybe not always because they're going to do business with us, but we don't know who they know. And they could be great ambassadors for us. They could be amazing referral sources for us. Even some maybe collaborators or JV partners. Networking can bring you so many amazing things your way. I know that is how I've grown our business. My husband and I started our business back in 1998, and it began with me out networking and meeting people. And I know that networking is not always easy. It can be a little bit challenging for those of us that may not be real comfortable meeting people for the first time. However, today, especially in business, to have success, we need to find a way to become comfortable with networking so that we can connect with and, of course, have conversations with the business professionals that we want to be introduced to or meet both offline and online. Now, I believe that many fear the activity of networking is because they're just not sure what to say, or when they meet somebody for the first person, if they walk into a room, they don't know a number of the people. it's just get a little nervous. So, some of the questions I'm often asked are, what do I have to say? Who should I talk with? Will I know anyone, or how do I know who to connect with is another common question. And what if they don't like me and don't want to talk to me? What if they perceive me as too pushy if I walk up to a conversation between two or three people, right? Or the opposite, if they come up to me and I am quiet, do I do they perceive me as too timid? These are all concerns we have. And then again, when you are at a networking event, how long should I talk to someone, stay in a conversation? I highly recommend those books that I mentioned, and again, I will put them in the comments below this Facebook Live, that you take the time to read these books, especially I'd say the Little Black Book of Conversations by Jeffrey Gitomer is the #1 book to read to really help you become comfortable. Bob Burg, as I said, wrote The Go-Giver. He has a number of other books too on how to really start conversations. You basically want to make sure, I think the rule of thumb is when you walk up to someone is don't start talking about your business. Ask them questions. Really be interested in them, getting to know them, and that way they'll remember you. You'll stand out. Just don't shove your business card or a flyer or a brochure or a rack card to them. Just start having a conversation and ask questions about them. And you don't want to say, hey, what do you do? Just ask, hey, is this the first time at this event? Or once you have the conversation flowing, you can say, well, what made you get into the business that you're into today? Or how long have you been doing what you do? Those are the type of questions that will get conversations flowing. You can do that in person and online. So at an in-person event, some of the things we wonder is, will there be someone I can enter the room with so I won't be alone from the beginning? Um, I know my very first networking event that I went to when Richard and I started our business was at a Chamber of Commerce, and I was nervous. I was never really in the business arena. I always worked behind the scenes in customer service at the companies I worked for. So I really didn't know how to approach people. So I kind of hid behind my husband as we walked in and didn't want to be seen. And I just kind of followed him along until all of a sudden, I started feeling a little bit more comfortable. And every time we went to an event, it got a little easier and a little easier as you started meeting people. The thing that you have to really, the trap that you can't fall in, especially at an in-person event, is immediately get into the group of people you know. You have to get uncomfortable in order to really truly network and meet new people. So how can you use the internet to help you in your networking efforts, especially today? I know we all probably have a little bit of Zoom fatigue because we've been doing a lot of networking on Zoom. However, I love it because I have had so many opportunities come my way. As I said, connecting presents the possibilities, and the communicating is what opens up the opportunities. So we have to again stretch ourselves and make that time to get on some of these networking events. And again, don't fall into the same trap by going always on the same ones. Reach out and find some new ones to get in. But the combination of offline and online, makes networking so much easier. You can connect with those that you meet in person, or if you met some individuals before COVID here, then reach out to them online. Even just doing a one-on-one meeting and scheduling it on Zoom is amazing. It's a way to really do a one-on-one and get to know them more closely, as well as understanding exactly what it is that they do and how you can refer business to them, if possible. But really, like what I do when I was at an in-person event, I would always ask them, what are you active on social media? Awesome. If they say yes, right? Awesome. Well, which platform are you most active on? LinkedIn, Facebook? And I always kind of mention those two because those are the two that I am most active on. And in fact, the link to both my Facebook profile and my LinkedIn profile are in the description above. So definitely connect with me so we can network together. I invite you to, I'm open to connections and having conversations, definitely. Um, but when you do connect with those that you meet offline, it helps you to continue the conversation in between events and get to know them quicker, so that when you do go to that next event in person or do get online to another networking event online, you are more comfortable networking because you know some people there, and it makes you a little bit more comfortable and puts you at ease. And connecting online first allows you then to really learn what's happening in someone's life before you head out to an in-person event, and it does assist you in a deeper conversation. Again, when we have that normal life and I'm attending in-person networking events, when I know some of the people that are going to be there, at that association event or chamber event, I will actually go and just preview some things on social media to see what they're up to, so that I can actually start a conversation with somebody about, hey, saw that your son's team won the championship the other day. Enjoyed hearing all about the fun times that you had with the kids as you were on vacation, or some of the things you saw. So, or I saw that you and your wife just had an anniversary, so happy anniversary, or something along that line. So that's why I like to kind of look online before I go, just prepping yourself. So those are some of my tips and my techniques. But again, I highly recommend that you pick up one of these books that I'll put in the comments below and get networking. But remember, whether networking in person or online, it's all about the attitude. Before you start or continue networking, and your attitude towards networking determines the degree of your success. There's only one attitude in networking, and that is of the utmost importance. It's the very foundation of networking, and it's the give and receive attitude. So what is it? Bob Burg says it best. Networking equals the cultivating of mutual beneficial, give and take, win-win relationships. Again, Bob Burg says that networking equals the cultivating of mutual beneficial, give and take, win-win relationships. Keep in mind that networking is a long-term game. It's not just a once and done. You have to rinse and repeat. So you have to remember that it always involves 2 or more players. You can't network by yourself. You have to be networking with other individuals. It takes 2 or more players. You do really reap what you sow. So start sowing, sharing, so you can reap more and faster. Let's get networking. Now, if you know someone that in your community that would benefit from this information, I ask that you do share this Facebook Live with your community. And I also invite you to connect with me on LinkedIn and or Facebook, and let's get networking there as well. I do thank you for your time today. Make it a sweet and successful social day. Again, Cheri Martin, the social visionary, putting the social back into social media. Bye-bye for now. See you next week.